Hi, welcome back to Chem with Chem. In this session, we're going to be working question 3 from Chemistry Paper 2 of the January 2020 sitting. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Please check out the other videos that are on this channel and be sure to share, leave a like if you find value, and consider subscribing and turning on post notifications so you can be alerted the moment new content is added. Let's dive in. Now, this question is an organic chemistry question. It's at the early stages, looking at homologous series. So let's just get right into it. List 3 characteristics of a homologous series. All right, so the word homologous, looking at the word homologous, we're seeing same and we're seeing logos. Homo means same, logos coming from a group. So homologous series, members of a homologous series would have the same general formula. And I believe we will delve into that a little bit more later on. Same general formula. They'll also have the same functional group. And the functional group is the part of the molecule that gives it its characteristic chemical properties. That's a part of the molecule where a chemical reaction actually takes place. Members of the same homologous series would have the same ending name. So this is like traditionally, where members of a certain family will have the same last name. So members of the Browns family will have the last name Brown. So if we're looking at the alkanes, all the members of the alkane series or the homologous series called the alkanes, their last name would end in "ane." So they have the same name ending or the same last name, for want of a better word. And also we could look at the physical properties showing a steady variation based on increasing number of carbon atoms, but we're only going to give 3. Part B, 1. Draw the fully displayed structural formula for compound A, which has the molecular formula C3H8. C3H8. Structural formula C3H8. So this looks like it is from the alkane series without us preempting the other questions. So we're just going to draw our 3 carbons. This chain is made up of 3 carbons, and of course, we normally add on our hydrogens. Each carbon must be taking part in 4 bonds because carbon is tetravalent. So there we go. And this is what we call our fully displayed structural formula, showing how the atoms are arranged to each other in space, or how they are bonded to each other in space. Part 2 of B, state the homologous series to which compound A belongs. So compound A, just now we saw that the molecular formula was C3H8. So this would belong to the alkane series, alkanes, and they want us to, for part 3, to write the molecular formula for the compound, which has 5 carbon atoms of the homologous series stated in B2 above. So the one with 5 carbon atoms, we will use the general formula CnH2n plus 2, and that will give us the molecular formula. So if I want 5 carbons, we're going to put 5 where N is. So that would give us C5, then 2 times for H. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2, 12. So that would be C5H12. And they want us to draw the fully displayed structural formula for compound. Oh, this is a different question. Part C. Part 1 of C, draw the fully displayed structural formula for compound B, which has the molecular formula C3H6. C3H6. So this is a different compound. This is from our alkene, and there's a carbon-carbon double bond. So it means that our compound here is unsaturated. So each carbon again must be taking part in 4 bonds. All right, so let's just adorn our carbons with the hydrogens, C3H6. And just like that, we would have amassed some more marks. Part 2, state the homologous series to which compound B belongs. And compound B that we just drew had the molecular formula C3H6. So we know that this is from the alkene series. General formula for members of the alkene series is CnH2n. And part 3, write the molecular formula for the compound which has 5 carbon atoms of the homologous series stated in C2 above. 5 carbon atoms from the alkene series, we're going to put 5 where we have N, so that would give us C5, and then H, 2 times 5 is 10, so that would be C5H10. Right, and then now for part D, the last part of this question. For each of the following homologous series, write 1, the general formula, and they want the general formula for carboxylic acid. Now this, I won't say this one is tricky, but what's very important to note is that we will write the general formula, but the last part, the functional group of the carbon in the functional group of the general formula is normally counted if we're actually writing out the molecular formula. So for our carboxylic acid, it is Cn, N represents the number of carbon atoms, H2n plus 1, COOH. And then they want the general formula for alcohols. It's, and I'm gonna just put it in right here, CnH2n plus 1 OH. So I'm just gonna highlight the functional group for emphasis. So the functional group for alcohols is, let's change our color. The functional group for alcohols is OH. And the functional group for carboxylic acids is COOH. So those are the parts that give the molecule, that gives the molecules their chemical properties. And we move on to part 2. We're stating the name of the first member of the carboxylic acid series, just the name, and we're also stating the name of the first member of the alcohol series. So the first one for our carboxylic acid, it would be methanoic acid. Methanoic acid. All right, and remember that the prefix meth means 1, eth means 2, prop means 3, but means 4. So let's just jot that down in the corner here. Meth means 1C, eth means 2C, prop, 3 C's, but, 4 C's, pent, 5 C's, and so on. And so for the, so it's the prefix plus the last part of the name. So in this case, it's meth plus anoic acid. Now, when you're looking at the alcohols, and we're just answering, we're not going into a lesson. The first one would be methanol. The second would be ethanol. The third would be propanol. The fourth would be butanol, and so on. So just like that, we would have amassed another 15 marks. So one step closer to us getting our grade 1. Again, thank you for joining us on Chem with Chem. Please check out the other videos that are present. Check out the card, the video that is popping up next, and be sure to share with a friend, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you're alerted the moment new content is added. So, couple later.